And here we are once again discussing another downstream effect of the lockdowns, and now we're figuring out that working from home is bad for your health, and especially of younger employees, new research finds. Yeah, imagine that. Locking people up are just having all of these quote-unquote unforeseen consequences. Who could have seen that one coming? Working from home could be as bad for your health as young adults, who do it may get half or an hour less exercise per day. Words, anyways. The study of people starting their first job got an extra 28 minutes a day of moderate physical activity, such as walking or cycling. Okay, but those working from home saw an average of 32-minute drop in their moderate physical activity. To judge how starting work affected people's physical activity, sleep and diet research looked at young adults in the UK, aged 16 to 30, who took part in the National Household Survey. These volunteers reported their employment status every year and every 3 years and were asked how much exercise they got in a typical week. This included moderate physical activity such as cycling, as well as vigorous physical activity like lifting heavy weights or aerobics. Researchers compared 128 people who worked from home to more than 3,000 who went to an office or other workplace. A fall in physical activity for people working at home based on this analysis was equivalent to 32 minutes of moderate activity today, or a day rather, or 16 minutes of vigorous activity a day. It doesn't sound like a lot in a given day, but you also take a look at the recommended amount of exercise by the different quote-unquote health professionals that are out there, the ones that said that, you'd be killing grandma if you didn't, keep your ass at home for 2+ years. But that's a pretty significant portion of people weekly recommended amount of exercise. The rise in physical activity among young adults generally was mainly seen to those in semi-routine jobs like bus drivers and hairdressers, and people in routine jobs like cleaners and waiters, as well as people in technical jobs. There was little change seen among people entering managerial or professional occupations. The results are published in the International Journal of Behavioral Nutrition and Physical Activity. Dr. Eleanor Winpenny, who was a senior author at the study at the University of Cambridge, and is now at Imperial College London, said, "If you want to stay healthy throughout your lives, we need to remember that keeping active is an important way of helping us achieve this goal." I don't know what the hell accent that was, but whatever. Those working at home might want to consider incorporating physical activity into their day, for example, for going for a walk before and after work, or during a lunch break. Elena Oxenham, the co-author of the study from the University of Cambridge, said beginning work can have a profound impact on our lifestyles and on our behaviors that might make a difference to our health, if not immediately rather than later in life. Although we found that people tend to do more physical activity when they began work, which is good news, these are averages, and some people, particularly those who work from home and to a lesser degree with those with office-based jobs, many do less. Yeah, exactly, because even if you just move your ass to another seated position for 8 to 9 hours a day, you're not really doing that much more physical activity than you would be that if you just roll out of bed, maybe or maybe not run a comb through your hair, and maybe or maybe not change out of your pajamas. You're at least doing a little bit more by making yourself presentable and keeping yourself in decent physical shape by at least going into the office. So if you require that type of structure, just let yourself know that you're also going into work every day and you're doing it for your health. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.